Our top story: under intense pressure after the resignation of the Secretary and Treasurer of the BCCI, the beleaguered Cricket Board President N. Srinivasan has brought forward a meeting of the BCCI's working committee to tomorrow. But he set certain conditions for stepping aside. He wants to be restored as BCCI President after being cleared. He wants a credible face as his replacement. He wants a re-election of secretaries who resigned. According to sources, it appears that Shashank Manohar is the front-runner to replace Srinivasan at this stage. Sources indicate that Sanjay Jagdale could be back, but not Ajay Shirke, who also resigned yesterday. My colleague Amitoj Singh has been tracking the story very, very closely. Amitoj, he's under tremendous pressure. Thus far, Mr. Srinivasan has said he's going nowhere, but now the writing seems to be on the wall. But even at this stage, despite the threats of his vice presidents, he's laid down certain conditions. What are some of the most striking sort of points that he wants reflected before he goes anywhere?
Well, Vishnu, the key point out here for me is that this man is very strong. He's a fighter. He's not going down without a fight, and he's making it very clear that even if I'm going down, I do believe that I'm innocent and therefore I should come back. And he's basically saying that once, almost as if it is going to happen, once the probe clears him or whoever he's concerned with, including his son-in-law Gurunath Mayappan, he should come back reinstated. The key point out here is that he wants an honourable exit, and even the board, we've spoken to board officials, they also believe that he should get it simply because they believe he has done some great work and therefore he should get an honourable exit. When I say exit, I don't necessarily mean he should be resigning. This means that he should actually step down. Now, what are his conditions? One is that, of course, that he should be reinstated if he's cleared. The other is that there should be a credible face. Now, here's a key point. Which credible face we're talking about? Shashank Manohar has kind of said that he doesn't want to take this job, even though we're hearing from other sources that he is being convinced to take the job. So again, it is a difficult situation. Again, if he goes, Mr. Srinivasan goes, then technically the South Zone Vice President, he should take over, Sharad Yadav. And again, that is difficult to understand whether he will, because he's not given any indication yet that he will. The fourth point, of course, is where there could be a problem with the board. Remember, last night there was a conversation and there were senior officials trying to convince the BCCI president to step down. But it's probably on the third point that they have a problem. Mr. Srinivasan is very clear about not wanting Mr. Ajay Shirke, who was, of course, the treasurer and recently quit, resigned from his post, saying that basically I should not be taking this humiliation for somebody else's fault. Therefore, he doesn't want him to come back, and therefore he wants his own, probably his own influence on who should come back. Sanjay Jagdale, he doesn't have much of a problem with. The Honorary Secretary could return if Mr. Srinivasan resigns. This is a very complex formula for me, Vishnu, personally, because what happens at the meeting with 24 members, the working committee, the kind of pressures that are going to be put on him, yes, he might already have been convinced to resign, but what really goes down, you can never really be sure of.
All right, what really goes down, nobody can be sure. Well, we're going to have to wait less than 24 hours now, Amitoj, for that meeting. Thanks very much for joining us with those details. Well, there have been several reactions which have been coming in the last little while. This is what Anurag Thakur, a key office bearer of the BCCI, had to say.
As I've discussed with you earlier, and I've spoken to the BCCI president to call a meeting of the working committee, he has agreed, and we are calling a meeting of an emergent meeting of BCCI working committee tomorrow 11 a.m. at Chennai. All those issues will be discussed during this meeting, and I believe by tomorrow 11 a.m. when the meeting starts, we have enough issues to be discussed during that agenda, on the agenda.
There is a working committee meeting in Chennai.
Sir, please say it on.
Then we will decide what is to be done.
Sir, यही आगे बताइए sir, please.
After tomorrow, I will speak.
Sir, please.
I will not say anything now. Tomorrow there is a working committee meeting. Only then I will tell you.
At what time that meeting is, sir?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Chennai.
Okay.
Mr. Jaitley has said, he's right. I mean, I have also heard that Mr. Srinivasan has convened the emergency meeting of the working committee tomorrow, and some announcement is likely to be made there.
according to me, everybody will pressurize Srinivasan to resign from his post, because already secretary has resigned and treasurer has also resigned. And there might be many more people who may resign here before the meeting. And I feel by all this pressure, Srinivasan also may resign. If the majority says that Srinivasan has to resign, we will also be with the majority.
सब बैठेंगे बीसीसीआई के सब सदस्यगण और उस चीज को जो गलत हुआ है, मेरा रेजिग्नेशन तो बहुत छोटा इशू है मैं सोचता हूँ, बट जो भी क्रिकेट में जो गलत घटनाएं हुई हैं, जो उसको रिव्यू करना, उसको कैसे ठीक करना, आगे से नहीं हो, और कैसे विश्वास वापस अर्जित करना क्रिकेट प्रेमियों को, ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण पहलू है। और वो बीसीसीआई में सबको मिलकर करना पड़ेगा, उसको समय लगेगा, बट सबसे पहले इच्छा शक्ति होना बहुत जरूरी है और कड़े कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे। श्रीनिवासन जी के इस्तीफे से या उनके रहने से मेरा कोई कनेक्शन नहीं था, ये मेरे को लगा जो ठीक था, मॉरली मेरे को करना चाहिए वो मैंने किया। और वो इतने हैं समझदार व्यक्ति, उनको मालूम है क्या डिसीजन वो लेंगे, उनका निर्णय है जो भी हो। बहुत सफाई करनी पड़ेगी सब चीज़ों में, और ये शॉर्ट टर्म नहीं है, छोटे समय में नहीं होगा, क्योंकि इतना डैमेज हो गया है कि इसमें समय लगेगा।
Well, earlier BCCI sources had told NDTV that the board's president, Mr. Srinivasan, has been given an ultimatum to resign. The vice presidents have told him either you go or we go. Now, the BCCI Vice President Arun Jaitley, a key figure in the beleaguered cricket board, when asked whether he too could step down, said rather cryptically that there could be a significant development at some stage today.
So now, after the resignation of Shirke and Jagdale, there were also rumours coming out that probably all the 5 vice presidents, including you might also step down in order to mount pressure on Srinivasan.
Wait for a day and you'll hear something significant today.
Okay. So there was a meeting which took place between you and Anurag Thakur last night. What are we expecting from that meeting?
Wait for a day, I said. Wait for today.